when you travel out of the country, do not bring your wife. Do not make that mistake of bringing your wife, okay? Let your wife stay in Africa. Don't make that mistake of bringing your wife. If you bring your wife, you're making a very big mistake. A mistake that you're going to regret for the rest of your life. Is that a new thing? Okay, I'm going to talk about like the good and the bad. A good person is a good person. No matter what environment that you find yourself, okay? You can still build that person that you want to be. That good person that you are, okay? If you're like an African woman, okay, and you grew up like in an environment where beating, I'm gonna be using like a different word for like beating. I'm gonna be saying knacking, just knock you. That's what I'm gonna be using for the sake of like the fact that there are some platforms that don't allow like some certain words and stuff. If you grew up like in an environment where a woman is getting like as a means of like correction, for example, where your husband comes home and the food is not ready, guess what? You get, you know what I mean? Because you did not prepare his food at the exact time that he wanted. Or when he gets home, let's just put it that way, his food is not ready, it's not served on the table. You get a pam 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 like you're a child, okay? If you grew up from an environment where, let's say for example, the dad is like a heavy drinker, right? And he goes out, drink, comes back home, and maybe the wife is struggling, you save some money, and he gets that money, goes out, drink, comes back, on top of that, you, okay? That's what you get. If you're that type of a woman, okay, you experience something like that from like a husband, then you get to like travel out of the country to meet that husband, and that husband still want to use like, you know, like in Africa, okay, things are changing right now, kind of like changing right now, okay, because of a lot that is happening. But if you are like in Africa and that's what you do to your wife, then you travel out of the country where certain laws are put into place where you cannot, that's not a form, you cannot use that form of discipline, okay? That form of discipline is considered violence. You cannot do that on your wife, no matter the level of offense, okay? That cannot be used, the thing or cannot be used as a means of like correction. Who are you correcting, a wife or a child? I'm just saying, okay? That is like the side where you're gonna have a problem with the law. But there have also been cases where some of these men are like really good men. When I say good men, loyal men, they've dedicated like their whole entire life for like their family, do stuff, okay? And this man has like a house, a home, you know, they have built something for themselves, and they end up bringing their wives over, okay? And you allow the environment to get into your head to the point where you want to take everything that that man has worked for. If it's like on a selfish level, that's when I do not agree with that, okay? Because I've seen cases where, I've seen cases where the man end up being thrown out of their house, like a house that he's worked so hard for. He's thrown out and the woman stays in the house. In a situation where this man is kind of like innocent, like they didn't do anything wrong, and you, the woman, you're doing it just out of greed, that's where I have a problem with. You know, we have to be honest to ourselves as women. Like, just be honest to yourself. Like, what has this person done to deserve this thing? When you have conscience, you look into stuff like that, you know. But in the case of like the violence, like I do not agree. If you're a man, you know, and these are things that you used to do in Africa, know that when you bring your wife, it's not acceptable. Like, it's not acceptable, okay? It's in Africa where your wife will do a little thing, you use like violence for correction. Like, this is supposed to be your partner. your hands are not supposed to like come closer. And there are cases where women are so provocative, like, I'm not gonna lie, provocative, whatever you want to call it. And as a man, you have to be able to have self-control. When I say self-control, where if she gets to a point where she start going like that, take a deep breath, okay? If you need to grab your keys, go out, go hang out with your boys. Or sometimes grab the keys and you're not really going anywhere. Just get in your car, maybe sit in your car, you know, for a little while so things can cool down before going back in. Because you can never tell, like, when a person is angry, you know what I mean? Not everybody has that control to like hold themselves. And standing right there, listening to like what she's saying, go back and forth. You know how we women be sometimes, our mouth like, bah, 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 who you think you are? Who you think you are? I'm just saying, I came across this story where this African man, okay, brought his wife. Okay, he traveled, then brought his wife a few years after that. Then something happened. Looks like the man got kicked. They had issues going on, so the man got kicked out of the house. And they had to put some restriction on him not to come to the house, not to come around that environment. But then he came in, okay? The story really did not narrate like what exactly happened between them that led to like that. But then he killed her. So he's in jail right now. Those are things that I say as a man, like, you have to be able to have self-control, okay? Because we women, we're just going to talk sometimes just because we want to talk. I'm going to be honest. When a woman doesn't feel a certain way about you anymore like they used to, they're going to use every way possible to get out of that. I'm just saying as a woman, I'm just saying, if they don't feel the same way like they used to, you know, people's feelings, people's emotions changes over time, okay? Whether for the good or for the bad, I'm just saying. But I don't think that people should generalize. Not everybody is the same. Don't generalize like, okay, African men, when they travel out of the country, they should not bring their wives because they're going to come here, they're going to betray them, they're going to come here, they're going to do this. How about the men that be doing stuff to the women? Like, honestly, how about some of the men that have had nothing but good women, but they turn around to be like something else and do everything wrong? I'm just saying, like, I'm not just speaking on like one side. I'm just saying, like, the fact that you just generalize because of what is going on, telling African men like when they travel here, they should not bring their wives. They should rather go back and forth. Like, come on. Not every individual is the same. People are different. People have different ways. The only advice I can give is that before you think about getting married as a man, think through. Even if you're with somebody, don't just be in a hurry. Don't be in a rush. Take your time to study that person. You know, no rush, no hurry to get into marriage. I'm just saying. So at least you know who you're getting married to. You know what they're capable of doing and what they're not capable of doing. Don't just rush it. Don't rush it, because it's not going to help you in the long run. I'm just saying, I'm just keeping it real, okay, 100%. And for the last video that I did, and I got all kind of crazy comment about, oh, you a single person, look at a single person coming to give advice about marriage. You know what? Go handle your home. When that home get kuchaka chakara, come back and tell me that same statement. You that is being busy going from one place to another, dropping comments. Focus on building your home. Which man, which lady, you have a husband, you have a wife, you on social media at 3 a.m. in the morning. Go get something done. Go be busy. Moving from one page to another. You have the audacity to come to my page and say, oh, this single YouTuber is trying to give advice to marry. You, advise yourself. Advise your own self. You don't have to take advice from us. Must you take advice from us? You call us single YouTubers. Must you take advice from us? You married, or got married, or madam married? Must you take advice from us? Oh, single YouTubers, oh, trying to advise married ones. Oga married, madam married. Get out of social media at 3 a.m., 2 a.m. in the morning. Go focus on your family. If you don't work out, you come out. Do you know how many years we've been married? Do you know the type of experience that we have? We want to give advice. Y'all want to sit and talk because y'all are married. Don't worry. When it's over, you come join us single YouTubers. Let's talk about it. Rubbish. I beg, get out.